Hello students, welcome to Shubhranjan IAS. My name is Shubhanshu Jaiswal and let's start our daily current affairs practice. But before that, let's have a look what we have today. We have one of the very prominent personality, Benjamin Franklin. And what he says is perhaps more important to you. He says that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So yes, you might be feeling overwhelmed by right now by gaining the knowledge of your newspaper reading, of the GS syllabus, optional syllabus. Sometimes it might feel that this preparation is very hectic and tedious task, but I need to tell you that all this knowledge will be worth. All this knowledge will give you the benefit you want. Fine. So just wait for the right time and do not be afraid in doing the hard work. Fine. On that note, let's start our questions. Today we have consider the following statements. Here they have given you the temples and under the reign. So they have given you the names of the kings under whose commission the construction was happening of these temples. So starting from Chennakeshwara temple, so this was constructed by King Vishnuvardhana. So yes, this pair is correctly matched. In fact, the Hoysaleswar temple was also commissioned by King Vishnuvardhana. Keshav temple was also commissioned by King Narsimha III. So here all three pairs are correctly matched. So here they are asking you the correct question option, so third is the right option. Now why it is here? Because recently I am very sure that you must have read this in your newspapers that these three temples have been added to the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Why? What is the objective? The objective is to preserve these temples and promote their tourism so that the world can see the beauty of these temples, the beauty of our art and culture. Fine. Now just have a look at their location. First of all, where would you find them? So Hoysala Empire, this was built during the rule of during the Hoysala Empire, which is in present day Karnataka. So these temples are going to be located here only. Fine. If you zoom in, so in north you have this Hoysala temple at Halebidu. Then at Beluru you have Chennakeshwara Swami temple. Fine. Now coming to south, you have Keshava temple at Somnathpura. Now this Somnathpura is near actually Mysore. So all these three temples are in the Karnataka state only. Fine. You can just have a look at the temples as well. So first have a look at Chennakeshwar Swami temple at Beluru. Now what is special? See, all the Hoysala temples are going to have the very in detail the details of idols on their walls, carved out walls. Fine. But the special feature here is this platform. You can see how star shaped it is. Fine. And this shrine as well, the shrine which is in this particular portion. Fine. So these are the things. By and large the temples are going to be similar, but then they have the unique features as well. Now next is Hoysaleswar temple at Halebidu. Now here you can see more of the idols are carved out on the walls. Fine. Next you have very important Keshava temple. Now where is Keshava temple? Keshava temple is here at Somnathpura. Now you can see very important thing. First refer the picture in the background. So here you have Somnath Keshava temple at Somnath, and on the banks of which river? Kaveri river. So very important, because these days UPSC is interlinking. So your Keshava temple is on the bank of Kaveri. This is the picture of the Keshava temple. Fine. Now Hoysala temples. So these things we have discussed. One more thing, you can call them Vesara style architecture. Fine. What is Vesara or hybrid temple architecture? This is basically the fusion of both Dravid and Nagar. So Nagar temple architecture is found in your North India, and Dravid temple architecture is found in your South India. Fine. And these hybrid or Vesara are actually the combination of both. Hope it clears your concept. These are the things which we have already discussed. You can just read it once. You can see in year 2012 they have already asked the question in prelims. The Nagar, Dravid and Vesara are the, so here the right answer would be the main styles of Indian temple architecture. Fine. So not just this, in fact, in recent years, UPSC has asked many questions on temples and art. And as you know, as going forward, as India is, asserting its soft power, its art and culture, we are going to, expect more questions in on art and culture in your UPSC exam. So be cautious. Fine. Now, next question is, which of the following statements about biofloc technology is correct? So, first statement, it is primarily used in soil-based agriculture for crop cultivation. So, it sounds like biofloc related to organic or something, but it is not. So, first is not the right option. Second is that it involves the cultivation of fish in high density system with the help of beneficial bacteria. Now, this statement is actually describing the biofloc technology. So this is correct. Here what are we doing? Here we are doing the aquaculture. Fine. We are cultivating fishes. Fine. But using certain technique, certain technology, and we are using beneficial bacteria in that. What are we exactly doing? You can just have a look. Now, suppose here we are cultivating fish. Let's start from here. Fine. If we are going to cultivate fish, we are going to feed it. Fine. We'll give the food. The fish will consume it, and fish will, obviously it's a living organism, so it will consume it and produce the fecal matter, the waste product. Now this waste product is going to suspended in the water. Fine. Eventually this decomposed waste will produce ammonia. Fine. Now if we convert this ammonia into something productive, then this would be helpful. Why? It will clear the water as well, plus we can take the advantage. How? If we convert the ammonia into nitrates and nitrites, and eventually using the useful bacteria, if we convert the food into protein high food. Fine. So a food which is basically high in protein. In such a technology, what are we doing? We are, number one, clearing the food, clearing the water. Fine. And again, the food is being recreated from the waste product. So this is going to do the number of advantages. Fine. This is the exact process. No need to go into the details. Fine. Here what is done, C is to N ratio manipulation is done. What is this? Basically the carbon content and the nitrogen content, they are increased or decreased in some manner. Fine. Now, so advantages of BFT, the biofloc technology, that it is eco-friendly, it has zero water. Just a sec. This is eco-friendly culture system. Fine. Here you have zero water exchange. You don't need to put again and again the new water, the fresh water. You can use the same water. Fine. Because you have already captured the waste product out of that water. Fine. Higher productivity, high biosecurity, reduces water pollution and mitigates the risk of spread of pathogens. Because in water, if you have the waste matter diffusing around, then it can spread or increase the chances of pathogens. So if you clear out that waste product and you convert it in the right product, you will have the advantages and advantages. Fine. So this is what we are doing here. Now next question. Now consider the following statements with respect to Chausat Yogini temple. Now the statements are, it was built around 1323 by King Devpala of Kachpagat dynasty. So yes, this statement is correct. The temple was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. This is also correct. This temple is famous for its intricate sculptures depicting scenes from the Ramayana. Now this is incorrect. Fine. It is not mentioning or depicting anything from Ramayana. Rather, you get here 64. This is what 64 in Hindi is called Chaussat. From here you get the name Chaussat Yogini. So you have the depictions of yoginis. There are separate chambers in which these yoginis are worshipped. Fine. So here option third, this statement is correct, and option 1 and 2 would be the right answer. Fine. Now why it is here? Because it has already been asked, in fact, in your prelims exam. So what has happened? So the old parliament building is said to be, the architecture is said to be, inspired from this particular temple. Now you can just have a look. This is the temple, Chausat Yogini temple, and this is your old parliament building. You can see very close the architecture is there. A lot of similarity is there. Fine. So it is in your Morena district of MP. Okay, this is the hill on which it is there. Fine. So rest of the things we have discussed. Now let's go ahead. Yes. Now, as I said, that this was asked in the UPSC prelims in recent years. So statements they have given you that it is circular temple built during the reign of Kachapagat dynasty. So yes, this is correct. It is the only circular temple built in India? No. Yes, circular temples are rare in India. They are very few, but it is not the only one. So only, you see, you read the statement, it is very, extreme statements. We call such statements as extreme. So the chances of being such statements correct is very less. Always keep it in mind. Fine. It was meant to promote the Vaishnava cult in the region. No, this is also incorrect. Its design has given to rise of the popular belief that it was the inspiration behind the Indian Parliament building. So yes, there is this belief. So statement 1 and 4 would be the right answer. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now consider the following statements with respect to Women's Reservation Bill. It seeks to reserve 34% of the seats in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for women. So here it is incorrect actually. It should be 33%. Fine. The bill says that reservation of seats for women shall cease to exist after 15 years after the commencement of the Amendment Act. So yes, this provision is there. So here only 2 would be the right answer. Fine. Let's have something more about this particular bill. Don't worry, let it get passed. Once it becomes the act, we will definitely bring a video on the analysis of this particular issue. Now it seeks to reserve 33%, as we discussed, of seats in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for women. There's also the provision that 1/3 of the total number of seats reserved for SC and ST will be reserved for women from these groups. Okay, these reserved seats will be allocated by rotation in different constituencies in the state or UTs. Fine. So what is happening? Suppose that you have 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. So out of there are certain reserved seats for SC and reserved seats for ST. Let's say it is 80 plus, it is 40 plus. So out of these also, few seats are going to be reserved for women. Women SC, women ST. Fine. And the third provision is, the bill says that the reservation of women shall cease to exist after 15 years from the commencement of Amendment Act. Fine. Now, so these are the things which have been in the news lately and you need to know. On that note, let's stop it here only. Just in case if there is any concept which you are not able to understand, you can write it down on the comment section. We'll definitely address them. I hope these concepts are helping you out. Happy learning. Have a good day.